Hey guys! Today I'm going to share with you how I grew my loofah plant. For those of you who don't know, a loofah is a type of gourd that belongs to the cucumber family. There are 3 types of loofah, with angled loofah being the common one that we see in the wet market, which is grown as food. The sponge loofah is cultivated for use as a cleaning sponge, and this is what we are going to look at today. I've never seen a wild loofah before. Let me know in the comments if you have. Ever since I started my zero waste journey, I've switched to using loofah for cleaning my dishes. Plastic sponges are made of plastics, and with each wash, they disintegrate into microplastics and head into our rivers and oceans. What I like about using a loofah is that not only does it do the job effectively, it is 100% grown by nature and completely biodegradable and compostable. Once my loofah is worn out, I just chuck them into my compost bin and replace it with a new loofah. Seeing that I use them up quite frequently, I decided to grow my own loofah, and here is how I did it. First, I took a handful of seeds and planted them by my fence and watered them generously with my laundry water. 2 weeks later, this is what you would see. I proceeded to pick out 5 healthiest looking seedlings and weeded out the rest to increase the chance of survival of my plant. One loofah plant is able to give about 10 to 15 loofahs. 4 months later, they have climbed up my fence and covered the top almost completely. They even climb up my neighbor's banana tree. So if you want to plant this, you will probably need a long fence or something massive for it to climb up. Loofah flowers love the sun. I observed my first loofah fruit forming at the base of the flower 4 months later. Loofah plants are monoecious. That means the female and the male flower exist on the same plant. A female flower will have a fruit at the base of the flower, whereas the male plant will grow in clusters like this. Similarly to the pumpkin, the male flowers bloom before the female flowers. So it's best to plant more than 1 loofah plant at each time to increase the chance of fertilization. A week later, they reached this size, and I actually tried cooking one to eat. But it was so bitter that I couldn't eat it, and I found out that the bitterness is caused by this complex compound called cucurbitacin. This is also the compound responsible for the bitterness we taste in some cucumbers. Consuming it will cause nausea, stomach cramp, diarrhea, and vomiting. I also learned that my loofah was most likely bitter because it was stressed due to high temperature and drought. I planted this in February 2020. Between February to May 2020, there was actually a period of dry season. So probably it's not a good time to plant loofah or cucumbers then, but definitely a good time to build any building projects, such as a chicken coop. A loofah will take about 2 months to become mature enough to be a sponge from a budding fruit. 4 months later, I finally have enough loofah to harvest. Let me start by showing you how big the roots have grown and how thick the vine is 8 months since I planted them. It's thicker than my thumb. Here, I'm harvesting a loofah that is not entirely brown yet. If you harvest the loofah at this stage, you would get a lighter shade of fibers. Some people can't believe loofah is made by nature, so let me open one that is still fresh on a vine for you to see what it looks like. Here are the seeds which is still attached because the fruit has not completely dried. You can see it is still a little wet and the skin inside is still green. Okay, now we are going to hunt for old loofahs. Let's see how many we can harvest today. That's a baby loofah, so we would leave it for another 2 months. Time to pick up our loofahs. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 15 loofahs. I left them to dry further and waited for 2 more weeks to harvest more old loofahs. And here I have 30 loofahs, and the best part has arrived. Now we are going to unbox these loofahs with my kids, so be prepared for some noise. Okay, so today we're gonna peel all of this loofah here. I've got my little helper, and she's already started off with the first one. Do it. This sounds a bit heavy. It's like it has molded inside, so maybe I'll just open this first. So that's one. Oh, okay, this is not good, eh? This is not good because
moldy.
It has already grown moldy. But this one, let's open this one. Oh, this one has grown moldy as well. Oh. But this one.
It smells like ammonia.
Okay, this one is good. Eh? This one is good. As you heard my son said, rotten loofahs do smell like ammonia. Oh, this is good. This is lovely. Faith in this, and this one is good.
Hello. Hello.
So out of 30 loofahs, we have 6 rotten ones. If only parts of the loofah are affected, we can cut off that part and use the good part. Here's a comparison of an overripe moldy loofah with a mature loofah just before it turned brown. If you harvest the loofah at this stage, here's what the insides look like. Some people open loofah in water to prevent the skin of the seeds from getting everywhere. You can choose to do so and hang them on the clothesline to dry. Dried loofah also has a very pleasant smell. To prolong the lifespan of my loofah, I put it on top of my stainless steel scrub after each use. And whenever I have hot boiling water from boiling eggs, I would just pour them over my loofah to sanitize them. And that's all. I hope you make the switch today and give loofah a go, be it in using it or planting it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.